Humanities' flaws. Example 6. The sin of the golden calf. The sin of the golden calf. Joseph brings Abraham and his brothers into Egypt during great hardship. Slowly, over time, decisions are made. At first, the trade-offs seem acceptable, but eventually you find it intolerable. Many will whine and complain, yet never go beyond that. But a generation will come eventually that will make change happen. Moses, in this case, represents this generation for them, and does finally convince both the tribes of Israel to leave and Pharaoh to let them go. Many wanted the new future, yet once reality set in, they realized the hardships was more than they bargained for. Whispers from those who wish to become tyrannical, corrupt leaders, thinking of only their own comfort, start to offer hope of freedom, but recreating all the positives in Egypt without the negatives. Eventually, the cries cause Moses to seek guidance, and while he is absent, those whispers turn to shouts to leaders less believing in the new future Moses saw so clearly. While Moses receives the 10 Commandments, those left in charge agree to create a God that the tribes can worship, because it was far easier and they lacked the conviction that Moses had of his beliefs. So upon returning to his followers, he finds them already embracing the beliefs of Egypt. It is said that because of this, God punished them all, dooming them to wander for 40 years before reaching the Promised Land. Not even Moses was allowed into the Promised Land, and to many that seemed harsh, still does, since he did not sin. God is the God of souls, not of earthly concerns, so to us it seems unfair. Here is the part I think we forget. Thought can be a disease, no matter what is offered for a better life. At first, it will need hard work to create it. However, the comfort of what you once had, even if it was in bondage, can be preferable than the struggle to create a better future for your offspring. The old generation would never be able to embrace hardship willingly, so if you're offered the Promised Land, you could not stop yourself from trying to recreate the world you saw as normal, except in this case you would become the tyrannical individuals. Even the most wise could not hope to avoid contaminating the youth of the Promised Land with stories of a time when things were simpler in Egypt, possibly not emphasizing how capricious life was as a slave. 40 years wandering meant the generation that was still all too willing to sell themselves back into bondage for the comfort of 3 square meals and a place to lay your head will have died out. And the new generation will not have the memories that would be romanticized with the mellowing of old age. Humans will tend to accept the intolerable reality to their hope for a future they've never experienced. A mistake made by one generation will take 10 generations to just get back to where that generation was. We are all too arrogant. Once we make a decision, we do not want to admit we were wrong. Future generations will accept it until the situation becomes so intolerable that eventually they will embrace a new path. But reality is, any new path is far harder since no one knows what it will look like. And it is far more difficult than over time you forget the injustices and focus only on what you had then but lack today. We forget, we die out, and the experiences we had are not the same ones our offspring have. They will have experiences that lack what we found so formative, because we will want to protect our children from the hardships we had, forgetting those hardships are exactly what made us the people we are today. How can paradise ever exist on earth when each generation will plant the seeds for its own destruction by trying to shield our children? We need perspective, but always humanity has a short memory, and we make the same mistakes, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try and put it off as long as possible. I think we are reaching a tipping point in society today. I find it hard to believe we could get any more surreal, yet Still too many today refuse to forego our own selfish desires to create something better for the future. Yet the future is coming. Whether we embrace it or suffer through it, it's only a matter of time. Thank you.